There are some businesses that do well by advertising on social media. And even all social media is not the same. What you can sell on LinkedIn, a professional platform, can be very different from what you sell on a very visual platform like Instagram or TikTok, right? What you may be able to sell on Facebook, which is seen by maybe like the younger generation as old school. Most of the millennials, my generation, for example, predominantly on Facebook. If what you're selling is targeting a younger demographic, like Gen Z or Gen Alpha, you will not find a lot of them on Facebook. Many of them are on TikTok, right? If what you're selling is something that requires time and consideration, and it means that you have to educate your audience before they buy, then platforms like YouTube, for example, that allow for very long form content will be more interesting. All of this is online, and you still have online ads and the rest of them. But online is not the only place you can find and target people. There are still some offline, conventional and traditional tactics. Everything from billboards to sharing flyers, using advertisements, using a physical sales team, going around and canvassing, guerrilla marketing tactics and things like that. You need to be clear about where you can find your target customer, because it's often that new businesses make the mistake of just spending advertising money. They are embracing the machine gun approach. They are just trying to advertise everywhere, hoping that they find a customer. As a startup business, as a new business, you don't have resources to waste. Don't forget, you are living on borrowed time. You need to make the best use of your resources so that the sales can start kicking in, so that you have the cash that you need to sustain the business. So you cannot afford to just try any and every tactic just to see and hope that you're able to reach your target customers. That's for the where. And what about the how? What kind of message will your target audience respond to? So messaging, for example, some kinds of products do well if they are fear-based. So if you are selling something like insurance, if you are selling something that would help to reduce loss, either loss of money, loss of status, loss of life, all those things are fear-based. When you sell healthcare, when you sell anti-aging, when you sell wellness products, many of them are fear-based because people don't want to die. They want to prolong their health. So that is how you sell to that kind of audience. You use fear. Some kinds of products have to be sold through desire, right? If you look at beauty products, for example, it's desire based. People use beauty products because they want to feel better about themselves. They want to feel more confident. They want to be more attractive, right? So that kind of product, you have to use desire. And of course, it makes sense. Whenever you see their adverts and things like that, they're always using beautiful models, beautiful guys, beautiful ladies, right? That's desire. Sometimes it's aspirational. So if you are selling a product like a certification that people that once you get can help you advance in your career, or you are selling something that people desire to have but they don't currently have, you can use aspirational marketing. You can use achievement-based marketing. So for example, do you want to double the size of your sales? Do you want to double the size of your business? That is an aspirational form of marketing. Anybody who needs to double their sales, who right now their business is stuck or something, and you're saying, is your business stuck? Do you want to raise money to take your business to the next level? Those things are aspirational. So you need to know the kind of message your market responds to. The general message, the general conversation here is that you cannot afford to start a business, no matter how great your product is, and just sit back on the hopes that people will find you because you're a fantastic product. Besides all these other things that I explained, your competitors are not sleeping, right? That's one. The second thing is that human beings are creatures of habit. Most people will keep buying the products that they currently buy. Not because it's the best product, but they're already used to buying it. It's the closest one. They are the only ones I know. All sorts of reasons. I'm already used to the taste. I'm already used to how it works. I don't have time to change platforms or to change products. For you to break the habits of people, you have to market to them. That's the job of marketing. Marketing announces your existence. It lets people know that you exist. And it also communicates the value, the superiority you have compared to what they are using right now. So there's a bit of education in marketing. You have to educate your audience to better understand their problems and why they need to solve it now instead of wasting time. There's a bit of education in it. There's a bit of orientation, making people take action, right? Instead of just sitting back and maybe hoping that one day their problems will get solved. All these things are the jobs of marketing. And I find that many startup businesses are not particularly good in this area. Many of them have the mindset or the mentality of, I have a good product, right? People are going to find me. No. You may end up waiting up until the time you run out of capital and you're not able to exist as a business. If you're interested in learning more about the topics I offer when it comes to starting, building, and growing a business, this is your opportunity to join my community. It's known as the BMG. I provide extensive courses on different topics and challenges that afflict business owners, from how to optimize your profits, how to manage costs, how to boost your sales, how to develop processes, how to scale your business. There's a whole lot that I can teach you. If you want to go deeper into my content, this is your chance. Go to the link on your screen right now, join thebmg.com.